Alright, and as we get underway, would you like to kick things off for us here, once again?
Certainly. Spawning in the top right of GSL Entombed Valley, we have as the red Terran from Fusion Slugs, Eagle.
Alright,
and
fantastic.
in the bottom left, spawning as the blue Terran. Uh-oh, I have a feeling Blood's gonna say something about me. Spawning as the blue Terran, we have from QED.Bloodmyst. There's a bit of context behind dying in a chopper. We've been playing a lot of DayZ lately in Clan QED, perhaps not sticking to our practice regimen as closely as we perhaps should. And today we managed to find a helicopter spawned in the middle of nowhere. Actually, it was just flying over the top of Cherno when we shot it down and jacked it off some hackers that ended up leaving the server, and we managed to fix it up and went for a bit of a joyride, and then 5 minutes later the game crashed and the controls locked up, and we ended up rolling it over and crashing it headfirst into the middle of the open field. So that
sounds like a great way to go.
So that was, yeah, it was excellent, really. I'm not mad at all, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. So, back to the game. We're on GSL Entombed Valley, so Bloodmyst did actually choose this map for this game, and he usually favours playing on Shakura's Plateau, as we have seen in many of his past games. He does quite like that map for TVT, but I think he has kind of fallen out of favour with it just recently because of the drop potential that it really plays into. So spawning here cross map on GSL Entombed Valley is going to be much more comfortable for Bloodmyst to play a really safe 3-base kind of macro game and really just play solid and standard the way that he really likes to, playing really positional with tanks and you know, hopefully being able to take a win off of Fusion Slugs' Eagle, who was playing very well last game, managing to, you know, even win despite you know, his minimal production of tanks, and really kind of using tanks as a kind of complement to his biocentric style, which I thought was really interesting and a really cool way to play this matchup. So we'll see how they both fare against each other. Both company going for this 1-Rax fast expand, and Bloodmyst actually did choose to wall off quite early with this extra supply depot before the command center, just to deny any information from Eagle's scouting SCV, and despite not having a wall off here from Eagle, he did manage to deny scouting well enough with the second Marine that popped out of that barracks. So we are going to see the early gas coming from Eagle again, and only one gas coming down from Bloodmyst before his extra racks.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting now that we're actually seeing kind of a... it's not at the stage yet where it'd be a major deviation as Eagle throws down his third barracks, but it's kind of already gearing up for that kind of a situation as the tech lab now begins on one of Eagle's barracks as well, at the same time as Bloodmyst's. And Bloodmyst, 2 barracks just finishing up about now, and his orbital command morphing now at his natural as well.
Yeah, so Bloodmyst might be looking to get combat shield first here. He's not quite got enough gas for anything off of that tech lab just yet, but he will in just a few moments. We'll see what he does decide to put down, and it is going to be combat shield. And nothing out of the tech lab yet from Eagle either. He is going to be just waiting for enough gas, and he is going to be throwing down combat shield at exactly the same time. So Eagle will be able to get the add-ons down just a bit quicker as a result of having that second gas a bit earlier, but as we said before, the extra mineral income is going to be a bit more economy focused for Bloodmyst here, as he's just now finishing that second refinery up on his main. No refineries yet on the natural from either player, but the first bunker does go down from Bloodmyst, so he's signalling that he is going to be playing quite safe here, despite I think he actually has the high marine count at this point. So really looking to play solid, standard, safe, and that's what we're going to be seeing from him.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually figure out how like in the small things, Bloodmyst is so ahead at this point. He's been able to get his factory down, he's been able to get the tech faster, and he's still ended up with more SCVs and Marines, so I think that's just a macro kind of thing. Him always hitting, I guess, the SCV build times and all that kind of jazz, and it's starting to pay off now as we open up the units tab and we see that he's ahead on SCVs and Marines, and he'll also be ahead in tech with his factory just finishing up now and Stim starting as well.
Yeah, he is. I think here the important point here is just that I think Bloodmyst's build is just a bit more refined, and he's practiced it just a bit more than Eagle perhaps has, and it really comes down to the fact that he can just knock this build out, 99 times out of 100 perfectly, without even having to think about it. And that's the real advantage that practicing build orders in things like save and load tool and yet another build order tester and even then just taking them on ladder. It's less about taking it on ladder than it is just practicing it relentlessly, controlled environment. I think that's Blood's strength here, that he does have just a bit more refined of a build order. But we are going to see just more racks coming down from Bloodmyst. He is going to be playing very, very biocentric here, and still no more barracks from Eagle. He's going to be firing down the tank level on the factory, so tank's going to be out much sooner for Eagle than for Bloodmyst, but he is going to sacrifice a bit of bio and marine count as a result of that. So I am a bit worried that Blood's not going to have enough tankiness in his army to deal with the splash damage from the siege tanks. So I'd like to see him step up the marauder production a bit more, maybe just to give him that much more survivability to survive the tank lines. But it is going to be 2 more reactors coming down.
Yeah, so contradicting
very
there.
Marine heavy. Yeah, very Marine heavy, but he's going to probably go into tank production just now. It's not going to matter too much really, because they are, opposite ends of the map. But Bloodmyst is actually starting to now float a bit of money as he's pushing out. So probably looking to secure a third base behind this push. That will end up hitting with Stim and not +1 actually. He is going to hit with Stim and Medevacs and Combat Shield though. So we'll see how this works out for him.
Yeah, being able to get that bit earlier.
I'm not sure that he should be engaging that, and yeah, really losing out on that engagement just solely because of the Medevacs there. Those went out quite in time, and Bloodmyst doing quite a bit of damage to the army of Eagle, although the losses were quite minimal, managing to stem back out of that fight just in time.
Yeah, and Bloodmyst has been able to catch up in the supply count now as well. He was a fair way behind, but that engagement forced the numbers in his favour, which is always something nice to have happen there, because unfortunately he did lose a couple of Marines early on when Eagle pushed to take control of the tower. So it's nice that he's been able to kind of level things there. And now that he'll have that kind of superior medevac count for a small amount of time, he's going to be in a bit of a commanding position just to take this in time to kind of like the mid-game stages.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to secure his third base just a bit quicker than Eagle will be. No third command center on the way, I don't believe. No, there isn't. So yeah, his third is going to be quite significantly delayed compared to Bloodmyst. We'll have to see if he turns this into an orbital or a planetary fortress for the extra defense, but he is loading up a drop now. Not actually a completely full drop, but it is going to be timed very nicely as Eagle is just starting to push out with his entire force of Marine and tank, as the third command center just now does go down. So he can time this out just right. He is going to land a perfect timing with this drop and potentially do a fatal amount of damage here.
Yeah, Blood taking quite a nice siege up here, and it looks like Eagle's going to go for a counter drop as well, so we'll have to keep eyes on both of those. But Blood actually getting quite a nice position with his siege up.
Yeah, and drop now in the natural mineral line of Eagle, but it's going to get cleaned up with relative ease there. He pulled SCVs when he had to, and there were Marines there waiting. But yeah, the siege up from Bloodmyst on this watchtower is actually really excellent, because it means he doesn't have to burn any scans at all. Oh, well, get a bit of That's fine. Yeah, as I was saying, this position right here on the watchtower is going to mean that he doesn't have to burn any scans, trying to see where his opponent's army is to get his siege tanks in range. But this third is really, really undefended, and if Eagle can land just here and stim up and maybe even take out this command center, he's going to get out a few SCVs, and he actually does manage to kill a mule as well. So that's quite a significant amount of damage, and he might, if he stims up, even take this command center out. There's not very many Marines here to deal with this, and just managing to lift up before losing any Marines. So quite an effective drop there from Eagle, and now he's going to drop into the main middle. There is nothing here, but Bloodmyst is going to drop his own Marines back into the base. Although the unload from Eagle was just a bit quicker, so more SCV kills going to be coming in, and Bloodmyst not really dealing with this as well as he could have been. 16 SCV kills now for Eagle, and he's going to lose the medevac and Marines, but he did a hell of a lot of damage with that, and more than I think he probably should have. Now, a lot of lost mining time here for Bloodmyst. He's going to transfer those SVEVs from the main all the way down to the third. So, interesting choice from him, but it looks like he might be able to just stabilize after this. He's going to repair up the orbital so that he doesn't fall susceptible to losing the command center from another drop. But his third timing is still ahead of, actually way ahead of Eagle's, but that did level the scores just a bit, as we do have these two huge balls of Terran sitting in the middle here facing off, and Bloodmyst is going to go for another drop here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he should be taking that drop in the way of the third base, even after he just scanned then and saw all those missile turrets go up, so he might need to rethink his approach to that.
That is a hell of a lot of missile turrets there. Really concerned about securing that third base. Okay, so loses the medevac and 4 Marines inside it. So.
Oh, but Eagle just lost all his stuff in the middle of the map. Completely missed that, but that's going to be GG.
I missed that. Good casting. Oh, man.
See, everyone
watching that on stream, because I completely missed that. I wasn't watching my minimap.
Yeah,
As a Zerg player, I should know better. Watching my minimap when I'm macroing.
Yeah, in all the casting tutorials, they're always like, make sure you're always paying attention to the really small things. And unfortunately, we suffered a blow there where we focused on the small things too much and missed probably the main thing.
Well, I'm sure it went really, really well for Bloodmyst, because he did manage to force out the GG from Eagle. Sorry, that was quite funny.
See if I can speed through this to get to that engagement.
yeah, maybe show the replay so that we don't get yelled at by our viewers as much. But good play from both of them there. But as we keep saying, came down to the one huge engagement in the middle, we presume, and forced the GG out of Eagle. So there we go, 2-1 in favour of QED. So good showing again from Bloodmyst, doing his team proud as always. So we'll see who Fusion Slugs throws up next. I'll go and have a chat to my team while you go through that replay.
Too easy. Alright guys, so we'll go through this. So that was the initial thing where Eagle did manage to kill off a lot of Bloodmyst's Marines, and he did establish that early lead, I guess, but yeah, it just came down to what we suggest, and that was where Bloodmyst even things up. So we're just nearly shooting through now. Bonic, I think your name is. We were focusing a bit too heavily on a drop at the third, and we didn't see the massive engagement between these two forces in the middle. So we're just going to speed it up to that point. We should be there soon, and then we'll be able to check what happened. We'll go full screen on this, and it was actually quite... hang on. It was quite a stalemate for a long time because Eagle didn't have that third baser. He was able to really do some damage at Bloodmyst's third, but not having that extra base ups kind of led to this macro advantage that he did have, as oh man, ESQE-esque, I'll call it, pointed out, he was able to kill one of the turrets, I believe, and then that was the GG. That's all we saw. But it looks like within the next couple of seconds, as we bring things back down to Earth, we might even go into super slow mode soon enough. So this was the drop that went off to that third base, and hang on, we'll even shoot through a couple more seconds. Alright, so here came the scan, and it looks like Eagle actually on the siege, which is not such a good idea. And here's the drop that quickly gets killed, but also coming in now for this engagement. And you can just see that without having all this stuff sieged up, Bloodmyst was just able to overlap over the top of that and stim and kill everything. So I hope everyone on the streams are more satisfied with that ending, rather than these two Marines that killed off the turret. So I scoot back just to show their moment of valour. So this is the turrets going up. This is the turrets being up. Turrets killing the medevac, and then the Marines killing the turrets. And so yeah, the GG being thrown out as the turret entered flames. So yeah, as the chat's pointing out, that is why he probably ended up leaving the game. Alright.